What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Game Nights. This show is brought to you and sponsored by Wizards of the Coast.
Now, on this episode, we're going to be raising our axes and playing with the new Viking-themed set, Kaldheim. We also have some awesome guests who you might recognize. But before we get into it, we got to talk about our sponsor, cardkingdom.com/command zone. That's the affiliate link you want to use when you're ordering any of your Magic products, singles, anything at all. You want to get these sweet Viking cards. You want these awesome showcase art. Well, then you're going to go to cardkingdom.com/command zone. You know you're going to buy Magic cards anyway. If you just use our affiliate link, when you do, you're supporting this show, our podcast, Extra Turns, all of our content.
Just type in the link and you're already there. Another way you can support the show is directly at patreon.com/command zone. We love our patrons, and that's why we give them exclusive early access to watch this episode a day early, as well as Extra Turns. Patrons also get access to our Discord, where Josh and I answer questions one-on-one with them every single day. We love them so much. Our community has grown so much over the years, and we love discussing the awesome parts of the episode as well. So if you don't want to miss out on that discussion and you want to support the show, patreon.com/command zone.
And finally, right before we get into it, don't forget, you got to stick around to the very end of this episode because, as always, UltraPro is giving away a lot of sweet Kaldheim-themed swag. You want a chance to win that stuff? Stick around.
All right, Josh, you ready to get metal with it?
Let's do it. Yeah! How's it, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, a chilly, a frosty, a cold episode of Game Nights.
Today on the show, we've got a returning superstar and a brand new guest that you might recognize.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jacob Bertrand. You probably know me from Kirby Buckets or Cobra Kai. Season 3 just came out on Netflix. You should go check it out. But I'm really stoked to be here playing Commander on Game Nights.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel Weeks. I'm the co-host of the Commander Sphere podcast, and I'm on a live play D&D podcast called Better Than Heroes. And I'm really excited to be back for my second episode of Game Nights.
Today we're playing with the new commanders from Magic's latest set, Kaldheim.
This plane is themed around Vikings. So it's about snow and ice and giants, gods, and all the coolest stuff, see what I did there? From Norse mythology.
So the commander I built around is Koma, Cosmos Serpent. This card is really powerful. I want to ramp into him as quick as possible, increase my token generation, and then I have a bunch of cards that just protect my commander. I think as long as this thing stays on the battlefield, I can just ride him to victory.
Today, I'll be playing Magda, Brazen Outlaw. This deck is all about putting a bunch of dwarves onto the battlefield, finding a bunch of different ways to tap them down, create treasures, sacrificing them using my commander's ability, and then I'll crush my opponents with some of the scariest dragons and artifacts you can imagine.
The deck I built today is Toski, Bearer of Secrets. So the card really wants me to go wide. So I put in a bunch of ways to make a lot of tokens really quickly. But I also thought it would be fun to have a really big indestructible squirrel. So maybe I can just Voltron and Commander damage my opponents out.
The deck I built today is Jorn, God of Winter. So the most important thing about this deck is that all my lands are snow lands. Which basically means with my commander, I can double my mana every turn. And then I have a bunch of cards that are mana sinks. So I always have ways to use all of that mana. Also, Jorn is a double face card. So if I get in a tight spot, I may try and reuse some stuff out of my graveyard, but I doubt I'll be using that much because how can you turn down all that extra mana?
All right, let's battle.
Let's do this.
Let's play.
All right, let's go nuts. That sounds like I'm cheering for nuts. Let's go nuts.
Welcome to the table, everyone. We have a brand new guest here today. So Rachel, would you like to do the honors?
I'd love to. I dub thee Sir Jacob. Arise.
Oh yes, I'm honored.
It's an honor to have you. Welcome to Game Nights.
Only one may stand. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet, I'm gonna draw and start my turn. I'm gonna play Forest, and that's all I got. I will pass turn.
Okay, I will draw for turn. I will play a snow-covered mountain, and then I will tap it and play a Wayfarer's Bauble.
Ooh.
In a mono red deck, this is one of the best cards you can draw because it helps you ramp your mana. So this is a perfect turn 1 for me. Pass turn to you, Josh.
All right, I'll draw for turn, and I will play a snow-covered forest. Then pass turn.
I'll draw for turn. We'll play a snow-covered forest, and then I'll cast a Utopia Sprawl. I will enchant my 1 forest, and I will choose green. I think this card is super underrated. It acts as a mana dork, but it doesn't die in board wipes. I especially like it in this deck because I've got a lot of enchantments and a lot of enchantment payoffs. Pass the turn to you, Jacob.
All right, I'm gonna draw my card for the turn. I'm gonna play a forest. I'm gonna tap 2 and play an arcane signet.
Oh, very nice.
And unfortunately for you guys, not for me,
You have a follow-up play?
I have a follow-up play.
Oh, man.
All right. All right, I'm gonna tap for 1 blue and play a Mythic Remora.
Very good card.
This is great because early in the game, most people tend to play Rampant Growth and Artifacts, a lot of non-creature spells. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna draw a lot of cards.
Wow, Jacob has a great start here because he's got ramp and card draw both on the table. But the thing about this card is that it has a cumulative upkeep. So we'll see how long he keeps it around before he decides to get rid of it.
And that's all I got, so I will pass turn.
Okay, I will untap and I will draw for turn. I will play a Great Furnace, pretty great. And then I will tap 2 and cast my commander, Magda, Brazen Outlaw.
Is it 2-drop?
You bet.
Wow.
I love the fact that this commander is only 2 mana because this means that I'm gonna be able to reasonably attack someone when it comes back to my turn, start generating treasure, and get my game plan going.
That ability to tutor out an artifact or dragon directly onto the battlefield, that's pretty scary, but it costs a bunch of treasure, and plus he's probably gonna wanna use some to like cast other things. So when's he gonna have 5 of them lying around to activate Magda? I'm not really sure. Probably gonna be a little while. At least I hope so.
Okay, and that's it. I'll pass turn to you, Josh.
All right, I will draw for turn, and then I will play a snow-covered swamp. And then I'm gonna tap 2. That was a weird tap.
That's how you actually
That's
play.
how you tap for more mana.
All right, and then I will play Rhyme Tender.
Cool.
So this card is really good in this specific scenario. For 1, it's a creature. So Jacob doesn't draw a card off that Mystic Remora. For 2, it's a snow permanent, so when my commander's in play, he'll be able to untap it. For 3, it untaps my lands for now to give me extra mana, but later in the game, maybe a creature or an artifact or something sneaky. So it's gonna be good in all phases. And then I will pass the turn.
Okay, I'll untap and draw for turn. All right, I will play a forest, and then I will cast a Verduran Enchantress.
Oh, wait, Enchantress deck now. Okay.
It's Squirrel Chantress. This is exactly how I want to be starting this game. Not only is it a creature spell that won't trigger the Mystic Remora, but it will also start drawing me more cards as the game progresses. And I will pass to you, Jacob.
All right, I'm going to untap, and then the cumulative upkeep on Mystic Remora will trigger. So I'll pay that 1 to keep it around, and then I'm gonna go to my draw step. I'm going to put a Breeding Pool in tapped, and then I'm gonna tap 2
All right.
for a Thought Vessel.
Oh, nice.
I pay for the Mystic Remora because I'm really hoping that someone's gonna play a non-creature. The Thought Vessel is gonna be great because now I have no maximum hand size. I end my turn.
I will untap, I'll draw for turn. My main goal here is just to get my commander tapped so I can get a treasure token and get my deck's plan going. So I'm looking around the table and I think Rachel is the safest attack. All right, I'm gonna go to combat and I'll swing at you, Rachel, with Magda, Brazen Outlaw. And when Magda attacks, it taps and will trigger itself, so I will create a treasure token.
Sweet.
Well, I'd like to keep my Enchantress around, so I will take the 2. And that's commander damage, right?
Yes.
And I will go to 38.
And then I'm going to tap 2 and sacrifice a treasure. And I will cast Jessica's Will.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This is one of my favorite cards from this year in Magic. Right now it's so early in the game, players have big hand sizes, so I'm gonna add a lot of mana, play some extra spells. The value here is undeniable. I'm so excited to get this going.
My Mystic Remora is gonna trigger. Would you like to pay 4 mana?
Absolutely not.
All right, I'm gonna draw my card.
Josh, how many cards do you have in your
1,
hand?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so I'm going to add red for each card in target opponent's hand. Josh, you have 6,
Yep.
so I'll add 6 red mana.
Jeez.
And then I'm going to exile the top 3 cards of my library and play them this turn.
Oh no. That's a lot of value early in this game. Now it kind of all depends on what the top 3 cards of his library are. I hope it's not too bad.
So I will exile the top 3 cards of my library,
So we got a fetch land, a 7 dwarves, and a vault robber.
Yikes.
Okay, so I'm gonna start by just playing all 3 of those cards from Jessica's Will. Arid Mesa will be my land for turn, and I'll use 4 of the 6 mana I have floating to cast Vault Robber and 7 dwarves.
Holy crap, Jessica's Will. I've been
so
talking it up.
Oh, good.
It's so good.
Holy cow.
So this is everything that Jimmy wanted off of this card. He gets a land, he gets 2 creatures that he can cast with the mana, and he has extra mana. This is a hell of a start for a mono red Doors deck.
And then I will use the final 2 mana floating to cast Treasure Map.
Ooh.
Come on.
This card has a ton of synergy in my deck. First, you can scry with it, which is some card advantage. And when it flips over, it turns into a land. So that means you're ramping, and then you can sacrifice the treasures to draw cards. So this turn couldn't have gone any better. Look at my board state. I'm feeling great right now.
And that'll trigger my Mythic Remora. Would you like to pay?
I cannot pay, so you can draw a card.
Sweet.
All right, that's gonna do it for me, so I'll pass turn to you, Josh.
Okay, I will untap and I will drop. I am going to play another snow-covered forest, and then I will tap 3 and I'll play Jorn, God of Winter.
Yikes.
So my commander's here. He's really, really awesome. I'm excited to get him out early because he has to attack to do his thing. And all my lands are snow lands. So that means I'm gonna double my mana basically every turn. But I also have some creatures and artifacts that are snow permanents, so I can get tricky with stuff later on. I'm really excited to start untapping all my permanents. And that's all I'm gonna do. Rachel, you're up.
Okay, I will untap and draw for turn. And then I think you've drawn enough off of your Remora. I will pay 4 and I will cast Toski, Bearer of Secrets.
Nice.
So cute.
This is exactly when I want to be casting my commander a little bit early so I can start casting some auras, make it big, and draw some cards.
3 out of the 4 players now have their commanders on the table. Jacob is ramping like a madman. This game is about to get spicy.
That's all I've got, so I'll pass to you, Jacob.
All right, I'm gonna go to my untap, and on upkeep, I will let my Mystic Remora die.
Don't want to pay that upkeep, huh?
No, I have something very spicy I want to play.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I will draw. All right, I'm gonna tap for 4 and 2 blue, and I'm gonna play Consecrated Sphinx.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I'll let the Mystic Remora go because this Consecrated Sphinx is gonna draw me a lot of cards, and with the Thought Vessel, I don't have to discard. I think everyone knows that this is an amazing card and it is a lightning rod for remove spells, but I'm hoping to politic my way out of it. And I'll say, I'll make you guys a deal. I'll give you firm handshakes after this if you don't kill it first.
Firm handshake.
Firm handshakes.
Well, that's quite an incentive.
Yeah.
I have nothing to offer currently.
Good old handshake.
Ooh. Consecrated Sphinx is always a problem on a board, but this one's particularly bad because it's gonna smooth everything out for the rest of the game for Jacob.
Okay.
And after that, I will pass my turn, Jimmy.
Okay, at your end step, I'm gonna crack my Arid Mesa. Going to 39. I'm gonna search my library for a snow-covered mountain and put it onto the battlefield. And then I'm gonna use that mana to tap my treasure map and scry 1.
Sweet.
I'll keep it on top. And that will add 1 landmark counter.
Okay, must be good. I hope it kills a Consecrated Sphinx.
Okay, I'm going to untap for my turn, and then draw my card.
Big surprise, that card.
And because you drew a card, my Consecrated Sphinx will trigger, and I will draw 2 cards.
Oh no.
Okay, I will play a land for turn. And then I'm gonna go to combat.
All right.
And Rachel, again, you are the best target to attack. So I will swing a Vault Robber and a 7 Dwarves at you. They're both +1/+0 because of my commander. And because 2 Dwarves became tapped, my commander will trigger and I will make 2 treasure tokens.
Very good. I understand why Jimmy attacks me here. I'm the only one that doesn't have blockers that can kill his creatures, but luckily I have an Indestructo Squirrel to protect me. Okay, I will block the 7 Dwarves with Toski. But he's indestructible, so he doesn't die. And I will have to take 2 and go to 36. Ouch.
All right, and then in my second main phase, I'm going to tap 3 mana and cast Gadrick, the Crown Scourge.
Oh, yikes.
This is a card that's gonna stabilize me really well against the rest of the board. It's a big threat in the air, and not to mention, I can definitely attack with it because I'm making treasures every single turn. Plus, if anyone messes with my board, I get a bunch of treasures off of his triggered ability. That is gonna do it for my turn. I'll pass to you, Josh.
Okay.
You know, Jimmy did some stuff, but I think the main thing is that my Consecrated Sphinx made it through another turn, and I get to draw more cards.
I am going to untap, and I will draw.
And when you draw, I will draw 2 cards from Consecrated Sphinx.
Yes, you will.
That's awful.
All right, I'm gonna play a snow-covered forest, and then I'm going to tap 2, and I'll play a rampant growth.
Okay.
And I will find a snow-covered island and put that into play tapped. Okay, how much do I care about that Consecrated Sphinx?
Not that much.
It feels like a lot.
A lot.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing that Jimmy wasn't able to deal with the Consecrated Sphinx. I can't let that thing stick around. I have to get rid of it. But hopefully I can garner some goodwill though if I sort of do the table a favor here. It feels really bad not to advance my board, but I think I gotta get rid of it.
I won't mess with you, you know. I'll give you a little bit of like
I won't mess with
attack,
you.
attack
That
immunity.
firm handshake is still on the table.
I don't even know what that means.
Look, Josh is saying he can deal with that Consecrated Sphinx. By all means, please do. I have no answers. I don't know if Rachel does either. And if this thing keeps going, we're in a lot of trouble.
All right. Then I will go to combat, and I will swing Jorn, God of Winter, at you, Rachel. And on that attack, Jorn will trigger. In response to that trigger, I'm gonna tap the Rhine Tender, untap the snow-covered island, tap the snow-covered island, and float a blue.
Okay.
Now the Jorn trigger will resolve. I will untap all my snow permanents.
It's like the seaboard music right now.
And then before blockers, I will add a green to that blue I have floating, and I will flash in Ice Fang Coatl.
That does not destroy a Consecrated Sphinx.
Don't worry. I will draw the card because it enters the battlefield.
Oh my gosh.
This is not really how you want to play this card. It's got flash and death touch, so you'd rather surprise your opponent with it, but I need the rest of my mana to deal with that Consecrated Sphinx, so I just gotta play it now and draw the card.
Consecrated Sphinx will trigger off of that. I still get to draw 2 cards.
Okay, 6 mana, draw 6, pretty good.
Still good.
What? Josh is drawing more cards and triggering Consecrated Sphinx? I thought he said he could take care of it, not help him.
Now we are in declare blockers.
Okay. I will once again block with my Indestructible Squirrel, Toski.
So Jorn just bounces off.
Yeah.
Okay. Then post-combat, I'll tap 4, and I will play an Amphim Mutineer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a good card.
When it ETBs, I can exile up to 1 target non-salamander creature.
Oh, that sucks, because like the card text says Sphinx, but it is a salamander.
It's been horrible.
It's been errated. It's been errated action.
That's wild.
Consecrated salamander.
This is another tough call. I hate using this card right now. I'd rather save it because it exiles for one of the indestructible commanders. However, that Consecrated Sphinx, it's just too much value. I gotta get rid of it right now. So Sphinx goes away. You get a 4/3 salamander though.
Sweet.
Come on.
The good news is that Encore ability, so I can still hopefully use it against those commanders later in the game. Yep, that's all I can do, so I will pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap and draw for turn. We'll play a snow-covered forest. This is my land for turn. And then I'm going to cast a Kaldheim card, In Search of Greatness, which also has a squirrel on it.
And it's an enchantment.
So that triggers my Verduran Enchantress, and I will draw a card.
Ooh, this card looks really scary. That means Rachel can now be casting stuff for free every single turn. This is really bad news.
This is a new card from Kaldheim. I think it has a very high upside, but the floor is okay too. I'm perfectly happy if this just scries a card every turn. And then I will cast Blanchwood Armor on my Toski.
Toasty.
Toski.
So he is a 5/5.
Pretty good.
It also triggers my Verduran Enchantress, so I will draw another card.
Nice.
So now we're starting to see my squirrel get a little bit bigger and a little bit tougher to block. I'm hoping to get some real damage in this turn. Toski has to attack. I will go to combat, and I will send Toski at you, Jacob.
I'm gonna throw my salamander warrior in
Okay.
front of your Toski.
All right, so Salamander dies.
He dies to Indestructible Squirrel.
That's all I have. I will pass the turn to you, Jacob.
And I will untap, and I will draw. I'll play a land per turn.
Okay.
And I will tap out all 7 for my commander, Koma the Cosmos Serpent.
Wow.
Jeez.
This card, it does everything. It makes tokens, it can tap people's stuff down, and it protects itself. What more can you ask for?
So this card is a huge problem for my deck. I have built a Squirreltron deck, and he can just sack a serpent and tap down my commander. I have to figure out how to deal with this serpent, and fast.
It's easy to miss the fact that this makes a token every player's turn, not just Jacob. So he's gonna get 4 of these Koma coils every rotation of the table. That's 12 power every single turn cycle.
And then I will pass my turn.
Okay, at the end of your turn, I'm going to tap 1 and scry with the treasure map. That's gonna put another landmark counter on it. I will keep that at the top of my library. All right, I will untap.
And on your upkeep, Koma will trigger, and I will get a 3/3 Serpent.
Oh no.
That's bad.
I'm gonna kick things off by tapping a red and casting Faithless Looting.
Oh, okay.
So I'll draw 2 and then discard 2. Okay, I'm gonna discard a Steel Hellkite and a 7 Dwarves. I'm going to tap 2 and play another 7 Dwarves. So because I control 2 7 Dwarves, they're now both 3/3s.
But they're actually 4/3s because of Magda, right?
Off to work we go.
There aren't a lot of dwarves in Magic's history, but you have to play the 7 dwarves. I mean, you can play all 7 of them. Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go to combat, and I will swing 1 7 dwarves at you, Rachel, and
Yep.
Gadrick at you, Jacob.
I don't have any flyers, so I will take 5, going to 35.
And I don't want to lose my Enchantress, so I will take 4 and go to 32.
And when that dwarf taps, I make another treasure token because of my commander.
Uh-oh.
And then on my main phase, I am also going to tap 1 more and scry 1 last time with my treasure map.
Okay.
Keep that on top. And because treasure map now has 3 landmark counters on it, it's going to trigger. And it will become Treasure Cove.
That's bad.
And I'll make 3 treasure tokens.
Come on.
So Jimmy has 5 treasures now, which means he can activate his commander's ability at any time. And that's really scary, but, you know, with my commander online now, I can just tap down whatever threat he puts onto the battlefield, so I'm not feeling too bad.
So I'm still not the threat here. So I'm not as worried about what Jimmy's gonna pull out of his library. Honestly, I'm hoping he can tutor something out of his deck to handle the big problem on the board, which is Koma.
Okay, that's gonna do it for me, so I'll pass turn to you, Josh.
Cool.
Okay. I will untap.
In your upkeep, Koma will trigger, and I will get another Koma's Coil.
Okay, I will draw. And then I'm gonna go to combat. Rachel, I feel really bad.
That's okay.
I will swing Jorn at Rachel. Attack trigger on Jorn. In response to the trigger, I will tap all my mana producers. So I have 7 mana, including 2 blue, and I will cast Pull from Tomorrow. X is equal to 5. So I'm gonna draw 5 cards and then discard 1. So I'll effectively end up 4 cards.
Okay, feels so mean.
To counter it?
Is it worth it?
So with my draw spell on the stack, Jacob starts making noises, starts hinting like he's got a counter spell, and all his mana is tapped, so it's gonna be one of those ones that costs 0 mana. This is a little annoying, but maybe I can talk him into letting my spell resolve. If you do it, I'll get you back. Because my lands are gonna untap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would only counter something that kills Koma at this point.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause
But I'm
you're-
just worried about what he's gonna draw. If he's gonna do something, I'd rather him do it now than, because if he holds it over my head forever, then I'm not gonna do stuff.
But you won't have it to protect your guy.
Jeez.
I am all for this being countered because 1, he can't counter something that I'm doing, and 2, giving Josh Lee Kwai 5 cards, you may as well just give up the game. Welcome to Game Nights. Shut Josh Lee Kwai down.
This is so scary. I think I need to save my counterspell for something more important. Him drawing cards isn't the biggest deal. I'd rather protect my commander. So I decided to just let Josh draw the cards. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me. All right?
It happens?
It happens.
Okay, so draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need to discard 1, and that 1 will be a snow-covered forest. Okay, and then the Jorn trigger will resolve, so my snow permanents will untap.
Yikes.
All right, then we'll go to blocks, Rachel.
I have no blocks. I will have to take the 3. And I will go to 29.
And that's commander damage, not that it will matter. Okay, and then I will pass the turn. So now that I know Jacob has that counterspell in hand, I don't really want to run anything into it. Maybe somebody else will cast something he wants to counter, or I can bait it out in some other way. So I'm just gonna leave my mana up, pass my turn, and pick my spot.
Okay, I will untap.
And during your upkeep, Koma will trigger, and I will get another Coil.
Yikes. And In Search of Greatness will trigger, but I do not have a 5 CMC permanent in my hand, so instead I will scry.
It has to be exactly 5?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
I
your
read that wrong.
ICMC
I thought
plus one.
I thought it could be or less.
No.
Yeah.
And I'll put that on the bottom. Okay, I will draw for turn. All right. First, I'm gonna cast a Fentorn Elves.
Very nice.
Okay, more mana.
So my life total keeps going down and down just because I'm the only one who doesn't have a significant blocker right now. I need to get some blockers up fast or I'm just gonna get accidentally killed here. And then I'm gonna cast King Harold's Revenge. And I'll target Toski.
That's pretty good.
So how big is it?
Toski's a 9/9.
Yikes.
So at this point, I'm feeling a long way behind. I'm trying to give my squirrel trample just to push through on one of these boards to draw an extra card. All right, I will move to combat.
Okay, before combat. So I'm looking around the board and it's seeming like Rachel's gonna attack Jimmy here, and I think this is an opportunity for me to make an ally. Jimmy.
Yes.
Based on board state, I think it's gonna go at you. I will sack a coil and tap it down. If, we can kind of be friends and, some favors are involved.
Yeah, we can. How about this? The terms of our friendship, we're still figuring it out.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a win the game favor,
Yes.
but it's gonna be a moderate
Favor.
Come on.
Just seeing Jacob's board state, Jacob has ramped out, he's played a really powerful commander and drawn a bunch of cards. I think he's the scariest player at the table, so if he wants to be my friend, amazing. I'm all for it.
So it looks like the two most threatening players just made a deal, and that deal involves me not attacking with my squirrel or drawing a card. And all Jacob needs to do to shut that down is sack a token that he's making one of every upkeep.
So I will sack a coil and tap down Toski.
Okay, my sweet squirrel cannot do the one thing he was born to do.
I'm so sorry. Rachel, I feel really bad, so I just won't attack you for a while. How about that?
This sucks because that only leaves me. He's friends with you. I'm kind of realizing that Jacob's commander is a really bad matchup for me. I need my commander to attack to untap my stuff. If he just taps it down before combat, I can't do that. So that cuts my mana production in half. This sucks.
I will pass the turn to you, Jacob.
All right, I will untap, and on my upkeep, Koma will trigger, and I will get a coil. And then I will draw my card per turn. All right, I think we're all in agreement that Koma's the coolest commander here. And what's better than one Koma, but two Komas?
Yes!
Sakashima of 1,000 Faces.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. This card is likely gonna become a copy of Koma, and because of Sakashima's text, the legendary rule doesn't apply to his board. If this happens, he's gonna get so much value every upkeep, and then we're definitely in big trouble. Looking back, I'm pretty glad he wanted to be my friend.
I really don't want there to be two Komas on the battlefield. However, I can't afford to stop it because I'm pretty sure Jimmy's gonna come at me with whatever he gets off of Magda's ability, which could be any dragon or artifact in his entire deck. But what Jacob doesn't know is I'm not gonna stop Sakashima anyway, so I might as well try and get some goodwill with him. All right, I just wanna make a deal with you.
Yes.
What I do won't touch you, but I want to defend myself over here, so I'll let that happen and not.
I mean, me and Jimmy are friends.
Yeah, but you don't have to defend him against everything, right? I'm
Yes,
not gonna
yes.
try and make it so he can't play the game. I just don't want to take a gajillion damage from a blight steal.
You know what, Josh Lee Kwai? You can defend yourself.
Thank you.
And I am.
You won't interfere?
I will not interfere.
Okay, then that can happen.
So Sakashima will come in, and it will copy Koma.
Oh my gosh. Release the coils.
Now I have more protection and more ways to tap down everybody's stuff. I'm feeling really good.
So now Jacob is getting to 3/3 serpents every single upkeep. And it's not just the fact that the serpents are creatures that can attack, he can also sacrifice them to tap our stuff down. This is just really scary.
All right, I'm sorry, Rachel, but I will be swinging 2 Koma's coils at you because my third one has summoning sickness.
Yeah, I can't find a blocker, so I will be taking 6. And I will go to 23.
And I will tap 2 for a foretell card.
A secret?
A secret.
So we don't know what that is. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So foretell is a new mechanic from Kaldheim, and you pay a little bit extra up front, and so it's a lot cheaper later. And no one knows what it is. It could be anything. Pass my turn to you, friend.
Okay, thanks, friend. At the end of your turn, I'm going to activate Magda's ability,
Uh-oh.
sacrificing 5 treasures. I'm gonna search for an artifact or dragon card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle my library.
Wow.
All right, this is it, the moment I've been waiting for. It's time to bring out the biggest, scariest, baddest thing from my deck onto the battlefield for free.
Hey, I'm Gerard, Weatherlight Hero, and I'm just moments away from sacrificing myself to destroy Yawgmoth, so I don't have much time to spare. But guess what? Neither do you! When it comes to preventing permanent hair loss, that is. That's why I'm here to tell you about Keeps, the simple and easy way to keep your hair. Personally, when I noticed that my hair was thinning, I freaked out. No way was I ready to be bald. I mean, imagine how my statue would end up looking. Good thing I know a bit about bringing things back from the graveyard. The trick is speed. I can only bring back things that died this turn. That's why I started using keeps immediately. See, with hair loss, prevention is key. The faster you act, the more hair you'll save. Don't worry though, it's easy to get started. Keeps lets you set up a doctor's appointment online and have your medication delivered right to your door. The packaging is discreet, the results are proven, and the price is low. So if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/nights to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/nights. Nights with a K to get your first month free. Again, keeps.com/nights. You know, I should have maybe picked better last words than these. Oh well, too late now.
Hey, Josh, just wanted to say goodbye. I'll probably be back in about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? We have content to record. I didn't even know you had a trip planned.
Oh, well, remember how I said I wanted to binge Doctor Who this weekend? Well, turns out it's only on UK Netflix, and How I Met Your Mother is only on German Netflix, so I just decided to make a whole trip out of it.
Jimmy, you know you don't have to go to all that trouble to watch your favorite shows, right? You can just use ExpressVPN.
For Netflix?
For any streaming service. Just fire up the ExpressVPN app, set your location to any of almost 100 different countries, and watch whatever you want. It works on Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, anything.
Ooh, but what about anime? Japan's so far away, I bet the connection's slow.
Not with ExpressVPN. Their speed is ridiculously fast. It even works on phones and smart TVs. Find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free by visiting expressvpn.com/nights or clicking the link in the description box below. Support the show, watch what you want, and protect yourself at expressvpn.com/nights. That's nights with a K.
ExpressVPN sounds great. Okay, well, see you in 3 weeks.
3 weeks? No, we just covered this. You don't have to go anywhere now.
Yeah, I do. I gotta go home and watch all these shows. Duh. At the end of your turn, I'm going to activate Magda's ability.
Uh-oh.
Sacrificing 5 treasures. I'm gonna search for an artifact or dragon card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle my library.
Wow.
All right, so here we go. Jimmy is gonna tutor into his deck for his scariest thing, and I definitely can't let that happen because I'm like 90% sure that it'll be coming at me. How bad is this gonna be?
Yeah, I don't know what's in this deck.
Can you counter it?
In response,
Oh no!
I'm gonna tap 6.
What?
And I'm gonna play Sublime Epiphany.
Wow.
So I'm gonna counter target activated ability on Magda, so no searching.
Come on.
I'm gonna return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, which will be my Ice Fang Coatl.
Sure.
I'm going to create a token that's a copy of target creature, which will be my Anthem Mutineer. And then I'm gonna draw a card.
Wow.
Oh no.
This card's gonna be awesome. I get to make a copy of one of my creatures, draw a card, bounce a permanent of my own that I can use later. I would really like to bounce one of Jacob's Komas, but I promised that whatever I was doing to defend myself wouldn't affect him in any way. So I don't wanna break that deal because then all of a sudden he can counterspell what I'm doing, which we cannot let happen.
I thought Josh was just gonna stop the ability from happening. I didn't know he was gonna copy stuff and bounce stuff. At this point, I'm kinda wishing I didn't make that deal.
Oh no, this spell counters activated abilities. This would be terrible, but I happen to have an answer in my hand. Okay, in response, I'm going to sacrifice a treasure for 1 mana.
Okay.
And activate my Vault Robber. So I'm going to go to my graveyard and exile my 7 dwarves.
What? Okay, so Jimmy activating this card in response to my Sublime Epiphany? Uh-oh, it's making me a little nervous here. He doesn't seem like someone who's downtrodden or worried. He actually seems kind of confident. I think something bad is coming.
But before that ability resolves, Magda is also going to trigger, creating another treasure token.
All right.
So Vault Robber's ability is still on the stack. I'm then gonna cast Deflecting Swat, targeting your Sublime Epiphany.
So good.
Brutal. I love this card. You can cast it for 0 mana if you control your commander. And not only that, but I'm gonna turn Josh's sweet spell against him. I can't change the controller of the spell, but I can mess with the targets. I'm going to counter the activated ability of the Vault Robber.
Wow, okay, yep.
I'm going to create a token copy of Jorn, God of Winter. And then, Josh, if you promise not to use it against me, I'll return your Anthem Mutineer back to your hands.
This is interesting. Am I still gonna be alive?
I'm not gonna kill you.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Because why not?
All right, and then I'll draw a card.
So I kind of made this deal not to mess with what Josh was gonna do, but Jimmy's already kind of messed with it, so maybe he'll be open to me kind of butting in here. Okay, hold on. Jimmy, I like the targets you selected, but I think I have some better ones.
Oh no.
I'm gonna play Narset's Reversal.
Bro!
I'm gonna target your Sublime Epiphany.
Oh my god. So, you create a copy of Sublime Epiphany.
Yes.
And now you get to choose targets for your Sublime Epiphany.
I'm gonna target Magda's ability.
Okay, and then you need to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand.
With that, I'll target Jorn. And of course, I'm gonna target myself to draw the card.
And then you get to create a token that's a copy of target creature you control.
Oh no.
I'm going to create a copy of Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, which will copy Koma.
Okay, so you have a third Koma.
I have a third Koma.
This is so bad.
Goodness.
I have no effects.
I have nothing.
I don't want to talk about it.
Koma is already the most powerful card against my deck, and now there are 3 of them. So the good news is now Josh has the Sublime Epiphany back in his hand. Maybe we can figure this Koma problem out.
All right, so this is a little bit complicated. Let me walk you through what's going on. So when Jacob sends my Sublime Epiphany back to my hand, that fizzles Jimmy's deflecting swat. So all those previous targets, they just don't matter anymore. I guess what I wanted all along was Magda's ability to be countered, and somehow that happened, so mission accomplished, I guess. And then Vault Robber still gets to trigger.
Right, and I actually get another treasure token.
The worst consolation prize ever.
Okay, I will untap.
During your upkeep, I will have 3 Koma triggers and create 3 Koma coils.
Yikes! And then I will draw my card for the turn.
Listen, I wouldn't normally say this, but you should attack me so that I can block with this thing, because I can encore it out and get rid of our little...
Oh, because it's 3? Okay.
Oh, and that's
Serpent
3.
problem?
You exile 3 permanents.
You know, not necessarily with everything, just like enough to kill that.
Okay, I'm gonna go to combat.
So I actually want Jimmy to attack me here. That way I can block with my Ampha Mutineer. Once it's in the graveyard, I can activate the Encore ability on my turn, which means I can exile 3 things. This is the perfect answer because it's unlikely that Jacob's free counter spell can counter an ability like Encore.
Josh, I'm gonna swing at you with 2 of my 7 dwarves.
Okay.
And Jacob, I will swing Gadrick at you for 5.
Okay, before blocks, I'm gonna activate Koma's ability. I'll sack a coil. And I'm gonna tap down the Ampha Mutineer.
So I cannot block.
It feels weird keeping Josh's creature alive, but it's what I have to do. If I can keep these 3 Komas on the battlefield for a little while longer, I don't see how I can lose.
So I'll take 8 and go to 32.
Now, I still don't have any flyers, so I'll take 5 going to 30. Ugh, ouch.
And because 2 dwarves were tapped, I'm gonna make 2 more treasure tokens.
So now at this point, it feels like Jacob has this game on lock. He has all the answers. Maybe it's because he had a Consecrated Sphinx, or was it the Mystic Remora? I don't know, I guess drawing cards is good.
And then I'll cast Chaos Warp, targeting the Sakashima, which is a Koma.
Okay, in response, Fierce Guardianship.
Oh, yeah, that gets countered.
All right, I'm actually happy that Jacob used his counterspell here because that's gonna open the door for my Sublime Epiphany, which you remember he bounced back to my hand. That means on my turn, when I cast it, I can bounce the token copy of Koma, that gets rid of that, and copy my Ampha Mutineer to exile the Sakashima. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think we can get this under control.
Okay, I'm going to tap 1, 2, and sacrifice a treasure for red, and then cast Wheel of Fortune.
Wait.
I have 1 card. I think it's better if we just draw.
I handle 2 of them if I untap.
Yeah, you still might be my friend.
So this is like the worst Wheel of Fortune I can think of. I have an answer to 2 Komas in my hand with that Sublime Epiphany, and now I'm gonna have to discard it? Jimmy, why?
I only have 2 cards left in my hand. I'm gonna have to refuel if I'm ever gonna draw anything that deals with his board. So I've gotta fire this off.
I have response.
Again?
To the wheel?
And all these 0 mana plays, okay?
I'm gonna pay 2 life. I'll cast Noxious Revival.
Come on.
Now we'll target the Fierce Guardianship and put that on top of my library.
This is going so badly.
So now when the Wheel of Fortune resolves, I get to draw a whole new 7 cards, but one of them is gonna be Fierce Guardianship. And I hear that card is pretty good.
Now, even if one of us does draw an answer, the Fierce Guardianship is back in Jacob's hand. I don't see how this wheel could have gone more wrong.
And then we all discard our hands, and then we draw 7 cards. When my commander goes into my graveyard, I'm gonna put it into the command zone.
Jeez.
This was horrible.
And then I'm going to tap 1 and sacrifice 2 treasures for 2 more red and cast Dwarven Blood Boiler.
Actually, that's really good in your deck.
This is one of the best cards in my deck. It synergizes so well with my commander. It lets me tap dwarves at instant speed. And when that happens, I get a treasure token. Even though Jacob's board is absolutely terrifying, I'm feeling really good about my position. I've got a good combo piece out and I'm ready to start generating value, and hopefully I can beat him with some of my huge creatures. And then I will pass the turn to you, Josh.
All right, I will untap.
And all 3 comas will trigger, and I will create 3 more coils.
Yes, 3 more serpents.
Friends.
So you have how many now?
I have 8.
8. Oh my god.
That's bad.
Then I will go to my draw step. Okay, well, I didn't draw that board wipe.
Uh-oh.
I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to combat.
Before combat, I'm going to sacrifice a coil and tap down your Anthem Mutineer, because I do not want that thing dying.
Yeah, I was afraid you were gonna do that. Yep, so he taps down the Mutineer, which means I can't attack with it, which means nobody can block it, which means it won't die. Which means I can't encore it, which means I can't kill 3 comas. Everything's fine. It's totally fine. It's going great. Man, that Koma ability is just really low-key awesome.
High key, really.
Yeah, definitely high key.
It's very brutal. You know, when I picked Koma, I knew he was gonna be good, but I was not expecting the tap down ability to be this good. That's like the main thing I can do is shut down my opponents. I was kind of just banking on cranking out a ton of tokens.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna pay 2, and I'm gonna play Phantasmal Image.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm gonna copy the Anthem Mutineer, which means when it ETBs, I get to exile something that's not a salamander. I'm gonna target the original Sakashima that's a Koma.
Yikes.
Ooh, this is great. Jacob has a counterspell that deals with non-creature spells, but this is a creature-based way of getting rid of one of those Komas. It doesn't solve the whole problem, but we're getting there.
All right, so that'll exile Sakashima, that's a Koma.
Bummer.
But you'll get a 4/3 salamander.
Come on.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be fine.
Okay, well, 2 is better than 3, but as long as Jacob has 1 Koma on the board, he can still tap down my squirrel. So this isn't a whole lot better for me.
You know what? I'm still getting 6 power on the board every single upkeep. Not feeling too bad.
And then I wish I had something else cool I can do, but I really don't. So, Rachel, we're all counting on you.
Okay, here we go. Squirrel deck. I will untap.
And on your upkeep, I won't get 3 coils. Unfortunately, I'll get 2.
All right.
Okay.
You did draw 7 new cards. Got anything cool?
Unfortunately, in the top 7 cards, I did not find a permanent with CMC 5. I will use my In Search of Greatness to scry. And I will choose to put that card on the bottom.
Nice.
And I will draw for turn. All right, well, I will go to combat.
Before combat, I will sacrifice a coil and tap down your commander.
Devastating. So at this point, I'm looking at Jacob's board and I'm thinking, like, am I just dead next turn? I don't have the blockers to support this. Luckily, I did draw something that would help. Well, that's bad. Good thing I did draw a pretty sweet card. Hopefully it'll keep me alive. I will cast Avenger of Zendikar.
Nice.
Wow.
How many lands do you have?
5.
It's not the best Avengers Zendikar I've ever seen.
It's an act of desperation,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think is what you would call it.
This is a really great card in a lot of circumstances, but we need to deal with Jacob's board state. And it looks like Rachel's just building hers up to defend against it.
I was thinking that another round around the table, I was gonna have enough tokens to really take some people out, but now it's just so many blockers. This is kind of annoying.
Unfortunately, I did not draw a land.
Even with the Wheel of Fortune?
This is the worst time to miss a land drop after Avenger of Zendikar, but also I have all these cards in my hand that I need to cast. And I just feel like I'm miles behind at this point. So this is a little disappointing. That's all I got. I will pass to you, Jacob.
I will untap on my upkeep. Koma will trigger, both of them, and I will get 2 more coils.
So we've got 10 serpents now, 2 Komas and a salamander.
Yes.
So 30, 42, 46 power.
All right, I know that I'm kind of the most scary player at the table, and I don't want to do a 3v1, a 2v1. I think I have a better chance of winning. So I'm just gonna take out the only player I can. I will tap 2 for another foretell card.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna use one of my foretell cards.
Okay.
I'm going to tap 1 blue.
What?
And it is Depart the Realm.
Oh.
And I'm gonna bounce the Rhyme Tender to your hand.
Okay. In response, I will tap it, and I will untap the Rimewood Falls.
Okay.
And then it will return to my hand. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. The fact that he's bouncing my thing is indicative of the fact that he's probably gonna get rid of the rest of my blockers or go around them. And we know he has that Fierce Guardianship, which is basically gonna counter any way I would have to stay alive. I'm getting taken out this turn.
And before combat, I'm going to sacrifice 2 coils and tap down your 2 blockers.
Okay, so Ice Fang Coatl gets tapped, but Phantasmal Image, actually I have to sacrifice it because of its downside.
Okay.
So it will die.
Oh no, if Jacob takes out Josh right now, that's gonna be a huge blow to Rachel and me. Josh's colors have a ton of interaction and we're gonna need all the help we can get. This is really bad news.
All right, I'm actually just gonna swing out everything at you, Josh.
Yikes.
That's 40 damage.
Okay, so this is definitely enough stuff to take me out. I have no blockers. This is pretty frustrating because I do have a way to save myself, but I know that Jacob has that counter spell. However, if I can get that Fierce Guardianship out of his hand, well, at least that kind of helps Rachel and Jimmy, even if I don't survive. Okay, well, this is not going to work, but I should probably make you use that card at least. I'm gonna tap 5, and I'm gonna play Mystic Confluence.
Oh.
And I'm gonna choose for all 3 modes, return target creature to its owner's hand. So I'm gonna target Koma, and one of the serpents.
Fierce Guardianship.
Right, we knew it was there.
I wish I could keep my Fierce Guardianship to use against Rachel and Jimmy, but I guess he has to go out swinging.
Okay, so Mystic Confluence gets countered, and that will leave me dead. And then I die to a bunch of serpents.
Now it's down to 3, me, Jimmy, and Rachel. But I'm really feeling like I'm in the driver's seat in this game. I'm still making tokens. They haven't been able to stop me. And yeah, if they had answers, they would have used them by now. So I think I'm gonna ride my army of serpents to victory.
Okay, at the very least, we got that counterspell out of Jacob's hand. It's just one less thing to worry about, but I don't know if you've seen his board state. It's all things we have to worry about.
With Josh gone goes our best hope of answering some of these Komas. Jimmy's in red, I'm in green. Those colors just don't handle indestructible creatures. I don't know what we're gonna do.
You have a lot more mana. You have 6 mana left.
I'm actually gonna pass turn.
Gonna protect what he's got.
Okay, so at the end step, I'm going to tap the remainder of my board using the Dwarven Blood Boiler. Doesn't matter what I target here.
Sure.
My commander will trigger, so that's gonna give me 3 treasure.
Oh, that is cool.
Nice.
Okay, I will untap.
On your upkeep, both my Komas are gonna trigger again. But with those triggers on the stack, I'm gonna play my other foretell card, which is Mystic Reflection.
Oh, this is a brand new card from Kaldheim, and it's really interesting because this has great synergy with Jacob's deck. He knows he's gonna be making tokens all the time, and now he can switch it to something else that's really powerful on the board, so nice play.
Okay.
And now one of my Koma's coils is gonna come as a copy of Avengers Zendikar.
Uh-oh.
And the only copy is the next creature that comes in, so the other creature's just a 3/3 serpent.
How many lands do you have?
I have 7.
Wow.
So I'll make 7 plant tokens.
Your Avenger's better than mine.
See, this is perfect. Yeah, Rachel's got a lot of blockers, but the answer for a lot of blockers is just more attackers.
So my only hope of getting rid of these Komas is just getting rid of Jacob. And now that he has all these blockers, he has more plants than I do, the hole's just getting deeper and deeper. I just don't see how I'm getting through on the ground.
Jacob going ham over here.
Seriously.
Now I will go to my draw step and draw a card for turn. Okay, well, I guess I should still see what I can do here. To start things off, I'm going to pay 1 and use my Vault Robber. And I will exile a Steel Hellcat from my graveyard and create a treasure token. I actually get 2 because of Magda.
Nice.
Because I don't actually know what can do anything, I'm going to activate Magda and sacrifice 5 treasures. And I'll search for a dragon or an artifact and see if anything can save our lives right now. I'm looking through my deck right now and there is just nothing good for me to find. If I bring out a huge creature, Jacob just taps it down and I can't swing with it. If I can find a way to maybe kill Jacob's commander, he can just make it indestructible. I'm really left with not many options. I think this means I gotta get creative. Okay, I'm going to find Lithoform Engine. Oof, put that on the battlefield. I don't know if it's gonna do anything, but it's a start.
I don't know if I like this Lithoform Engine. It's not a really big creature, which I can deal with easier. This is a tricky card. He has some kind of plan. I don't know what he's going for, and it makes me kind of worried.
And then I'm going to play a Bloodstained Mire, which I'll immediately crack. Find another snow-covered mountain, put it on the battlefield. And I'll lose a life and go to 38. Okay, I will go to combat.
All right, before combat, I will sacrifice 1 serpent, going to 7, and I will tap down your Gadrin.
Womp womp, you get stepped down. And then my second main phase, I'll play a Mind Stone. And that's gonna be it for me, pass turn. I'm not feeling great at the end of my turn here. I have a really high life total and a great value engine going, but Jacob's board just kind of shuts it all down. His commander is so powerful and works really well against my strategy. That leaves it up to Rachel. I'm really, really hoping she can find some way to get us out of this mess.
I will untap.
And during your upkeep, I will get 2 Koma triggers and get 2 Koma coils.
I also have an upkeep trigger. I do not have a permanent 8 CMC in my hand, so I will scry instead. Well, I don't want that, so I'll put it on the bottom.
Okay.
And I will draw for turn. So my biggest problem in this game is that Jacob can just tap down my squirrel, but on this turn, I draw something that might make a difference. Okay, first I'm gonna cast Canopy Cover, and I'll target Toski.
Oh,
Pretty sweet.
this is a perfect card in Rachel's deck. It gives her commander evasion, as well as stops Jacob from targeting it with his commander. So after this turn, she's gonna finally be able to swing with it. If we can just hold him for 1 more turn, maybe Rachel can do enough damage to kill him.
In response, I'm going to sack a serpent and tap down your Toski.
Yep.
Okay, Canopy Cover still attaches, but now it's tapped.
This is really scary because from here on out, I won't be able to tap down her commander. I don't have any enchantment removal in my hand, so I think the next thing I gotta do is just player removal. And looking at her board, she has a lot of blockers, but I think I have enough serpents to take her out.
That will trigger my Verdurn Enchantress, so I will draw a card.
All right, well that is threatening next turn.
Next turn, we're doing something. Okay, I will then cast Nature's Lore, and I'll find a snow-covered forest and put it into play. That's gonna trigger my Avenger of Zendikar, and all my plants will get a +1/+1 counter.
So they're all 1/2s now?
I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play a land for turn then?
I did not draw a land.
No.
Wow.
Can't find them.
That's bad.
Okay, and then I will cast Beacon of Creation.
Wow.
I will put a 1/1 green insect creature token into play for each forest I control.
How many forests do you have?
I have 6.
Nice.
And then the beacon will shuffle into my library.
All right, she's got chump blockers.
There's a lot of stuff over there.
So now I'm feeling a little bit safer behind my wall of tokens. They're not very big, but there are a lot of them. So maybe it means Jacob can't take me out this turn. And if I untap with my squirrel and he can't target it, we might have a game.
This is really bad because now she has enough blockers that I can't kill her. If she gets another turn, she might be able to pump up her commander to kill me.
And then I will pass the turn to Jacob.
Okay, I will untap. Both of my Komas will trigger, and I'll make 2 more serpents.
So now you have 11 serpents, a salamander, 2 Komas, an Avenger of Zendikar, and 7 plants.
Yes.
No problem.
Is that all? Although you've got 5,
Yeah, I was gonna say you have a.
I have
5 plants, 6 insects, an Avenger of Zendikar, an Enchantress, a Mana Dork, and a big Voltron Toski.
So Rachel's got a million blockers. I can't take her out, but I'm starting to look at Jimmy, trying to see if I can kill him. The problem is if I use all my resources to kill Jimmy, Rachel could probably just kill me on the crackback. So now I'm in a really tough spot because now I feel like I can't do anything. All right, for my land per turn, I will play a Myriad Landscape.
Yep.
Comes in tapped, unfortunately. And that will trigger my Adventure Zendikar. And that will put a +1/+1 counter on all my plants.
So So they're all 1/2s now?
Okay, I don't think I have any good attacks. I'm worried about the crackback, so I'm just gonna pass to you, Jimmy.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow. So it seems like Jacob might be out of gas here. I mean, he's still making serpents every turn, but maybe we can do something about this Koma problem after all.
So my plan is to survive to the next turn, pump up my plant tokens, and swing all out. A turn ago, I felt like I was in a really good position, and now it really feels like this is slipping away.
Wow, both stabilized here.
Scary.
Okay, I guess at the end of your turn, I will pay 1 and crack my Mind Stone to draw a card. Okay, so I'm gonna use my Dwarven Blood Boiler to tap down all of my creatures to give me 4 treasures.
Okay, Jimmy, before you get the treasures, I'm going to sacrifice a serpent and tap down your Magda so her activated abilities can't be activated this turn.
Oh,
That is cool.
So I have been using Koma to tap down creatures, but this time I'm using it to stop Magda's ability. I know he can activate the ability on his turn, but I don't really want Jimmy getting anything out on my end step because it kind of just gives it pseudo haste.
bummer. Okay, that's fine. In that case, I'm also going to tap 2 and use my Lethal Form engine to copy the triggered ability, and so I'll get 1 extra treasure. So I'm gonna have 5 treasures from this. And then finally, I'm going to activate my treasure cove, sacrifice a treasure, and draw a card.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'm going to untap.
During your upkeep, I have 2 Koma triggers and we'll get 2 Koma coils.
Okay, I will go to my draw step and I will draw a card for turn. I'll tap 3 mana and I'll cast 1,000-Year Elixir.
Sure.
I'm trying to always untap and tap my creatures in this deck, and this is an amazing card for it, but Jacob's deck is just shutting everyone down right now, so I'm just kind of spinning my wheels. And then I will tap a red and cycle a Forgotten Cave, draw a card. I will tap 1 and cast a Springleaf Drum.
Sure, that taps dwarves.
It does.
You got a lot of ways to tap your dwarf.
A lot of dwarf
really
tapping.
just 2,
Yeah.
I guess. Feels like a lot.
And then I don't think I can do anything but go to combat.
In response, I will activate Koma's ability, sacrificing a Koma coil and tap down your Gadric.
Okay, and then I'm going to pay 1 mana and use the 1,000-Year Elixir to untap Gadric.
I will then activate my Koma, sacrificing Koma coil, and tapping down your Gadric again.
He's just getting a workout in.
Yeah.
And then with that, I will just pass the turn to you, Rachel.
Okay, I'll untap all my stuff. I was really hoping that Jimmy could do some damage to Jacob this turn because that gives me a chance to take him out in 1 swing. But with his life total as high as it is, it's gonna look like a bit of a long shot.
And on your upkeep, both Komas will trigger, and I will get 2 Koma coils.
I also have an In Search of Greatness trigger. Nope. I will scry that to the bottom again,
Not bad.
and I will draw for turn.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast Citizen Training, targeting Toski. I will draw a card, and then because of my Enchantress, I will draw another card.
Okay.
So Toski is now an 8/7.
Cool.
The only thing I'm worried about is can she get her commander to up to 21 damage? Because I have no answers for that thing. It basically has hexproof, and I have no flyers. I don't know if I'm gonna die here or if I'm gonna live.
I'm looking at the cards in my hand, and I'm doing all the math, and it looks like at most I can do 18 commander damage to Jacob this turn, which is not enough to take him out. So I'm just gonna do some damage, try and draw some cards, and maybe survive and take him out next turn. Okay, well, I will go to combat.
Okay.
Jacob, I will attack you in the air for 8.
All right, I have no flyers, so I will take 8.
That is 8 commander damage.
It might matter.
Oh, I was really hoping Rachel was gonna find a way to kill Jacob this turn, but looking at her board state, it looks like she's just putting her defenses up. My hope is just that these 2 players keep looking at each other because their board states are so big that they just kind of let me do my thing.
When Toski deals combat damage, I get to draw a card.
May it be a land.
It is not a land.
Whoa!
Wow, that's pretty nuts.
Well, this is a good card, so it's fine. And then I will cast Vigor.
Oh!
Bro, GG.
I cast the Vigor because it makes me super scary to attack. It prevents all damage to my blockers, and it makes them super big. So if I can survive the next 2 turns, I have a chance to win this game.
This is so bad because now if I attack her and she lives, her creatures are gonna be so huge that I won't be able to deal with it. Me or Jimmy. She is now arch enemy, in my opinion. Don't look at me. Look at her. She's got vigor.
Well, that's all I can do, so I will pass to you, Jacob. And I have 8 cards in my hand, so I will discard a Boreal Druid.
All right, I will untap, and I have 2 Koma triggers, and I will get 2 more Koma coils, and I will draw. All right, so I'm going to tap 2 and crack my Myriad Landscape. Now we'll get 2 more lands. And those will come into play tapped. And then I will play my land per turn, Hinterland Harbor. That was 3 lands entering the battlefield, so my Avenger of Zendikar triggers 3 times. So all my plants are 4/5s now.
Wow. So that was 21 power that just got put out. Okay.
So when that Vigor hit the battlefield, it looked pretty bleak, but I'm counting her creatures and the number of creatures I have, and I think I can take her out. I'm going to go to combat.
Yeah?
And I'm going to swing everything at you, Miss Rachel.
Ooh.
Except these 2 serpents, they have summoning sickness. This is scary because there's so many creatures on the battlefield. There's one tiny miscalculation I could lose. So I'm just really hoping this is 100% enough to take her out, because I would for surely die on the crackback.
How many creatures total is that?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 23.
Wow.
Oh, that's so many. I did not do the math.
So how many blockers do you have, Rachel?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So he has 23 attackers and I have 14 blockers, which means even if I block the biggest thing on his board, I'm still gonna take enough damage to die. But maybe I can take some creatures out on the way, help Jimmy out a little bit. So even if I block the biggest creatures on the board, I will still die. So I think I'm just gonna do some damage.
Before you declare blocks, I have a Dwarven Blood Boiler and I can target your creatures. So I have 5 dwarves that can give 5 +2/+0 triggers to different creatures.
Oh gosh.
Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm gonna start targeting Rachel's creatures and give them a little bit of a buff so maybe they can trade with Jacob's. Maybe I'll have a better chance of surviving.
Okay, Jimmy, can you give my plants +2/+0?
Yes, I can do that for all 5 of them actually. So I will use Dwarven Blood Boiler's ability, tap down all of my dwarves, and give +2/+0 to each of your plants.
So all my plants are 3/2s.
And I'll also get 5 treasures because of Magda.
Not bad.
So I'm obviously gonna block the 14 biggest creatures, and that will still leave 27 damage coming through, so I know I will be knocked out. But Vigor will block your Avenger of Zendikar, so Avenger of Zendikar will die. My Avenger of Zendikar will block one of your plant tokens, so that plant will die. My plants will trade with 4 serpents and the salamander. And the only thing I have left is chumping.
So Jimmy starts tapping his dwarves, making treasures, and pumping up Rachel's creatures so that they'll trade with mine. I need as many creatures as I can to push through Jimmy's blockers and kill him. Luckily, I have a way that all my creatures will live no matter what. Before damage,
Oh no, what?
Uh-oh.
I am gonna tap 2.
Uh-oh.
And because I love my creatures so much, I'm gonna play Heroic Intervention.
Oh my gosh, none of it mattered!
The important part here is indestructible. Now, I'm gonna have my full board when it's down to me and Jimmy, one-on-one.
So all your stuff lives?
All my stuff lives.
Had it the whole time.
Indestructible.
Wow, so all of that attacking and blocking and math was for nothing. Rachel's gonna die, Jacob keeps his entire board, and I'm pretty sure it's lights out for me.
Well, none of my creatures take damage because of Vigor, but it doesn't matter because I do. And then I die to a bunch of Koma's coils.
All right, so I can't do anything else. So Jimmy, I will pass turn to you. Now it's down to me and Jimmy 1v1, and I think I got this. Worst case scenario, I can just tap down Jimmy's creatures, and when it's back to my turn, I can have more than enough attackers to take him out.
I'm looking at my board and I'm looking at Jacob's, and I don't think I have any way out of this. My best option might just be to use my commander as much as possible and maybe find a way to piece something together. Okay, great. At the end of your turn, I'm gonna just see what kind of crazy stuff I can get, I guess. I have 10 treasures, so that means I can activate Magda twice. And then I'm gonna use my Lithoform engine to copy the activated ability. So I'm actually gonna search for 3 dragons or artifacts and put them onto the battlefield.
Okay.
I can't really stop him from activating Magda this many times, but anything he plays out, I can just tap down with Koma. Not feeling too scared.
If you didn't have 12 serpents, I don't know, but I don't know what a red deck can do about this.
Yeah.
So I'm searching through my deck, and all of a sudden I see a card that looks a lot better than it did a couple of turns ago. Wait a minute. If I can bring out the right combination of things to the table right now, I might actually have the game. But Jacob's had an answer for every single thing that's happened so far. If he stops even one part of this, it's over. Okay, so I've got 3 triggers of Magda on the stack. I found 3 things, and the first is Terror of the Peaks.
Oh no.
Sweet.
Not bad.
This card needs to enter the battlefield first because my other 2 cards are gonna trigger its ability. Thanks to Rachel's attack on her turn, Jacob is now at 20 life. So that's all I have to do to be able to take him out.
Ugh, this is so bad. The game's slipping from my grasp. Koma can negate activated abilities, but Terror of the Peaks is a triggered ability, which Koma cannot touch. So now if he plays 20 power worth of stuff in the next 2 cards, I'm done for. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't quite have it.
The first card I'm gonna put down is Phyrexian Triniform.
Oh my god.
Which is a 9/9. That's gonna deal 9 damage to you.
I can't do anything about that.
Jeez. And then the second card is a Blightsteel Colossus. Which does 11 damage to your face.
Yeah.
Wow. So good.
And then I died to Terror of the Peaks, throwing a Blightsteel Colossus at my face.
Wow.
Good game. Good game.
That was a good game.
Good game.
And with that, I cash in all my treasures and I win the game. Cha-ching!
This game was awesome. I know I was kind of arch enemy for a long time, but man, that was a wild ride. There's a lot of points where I really felt like I could win, and I totally thought I was gonna lose.
I'm really impressed with Magda. It ramped well, and it drew well, and it tutored well. I'm excited to see what Commander looks like post Kaldheim.
This set is the most metal set Magic has ever made. We've got new snow-covered lands, snow-covered dual lands.
I love the Norse mythology motif, plus the showcase cards, the Viking theme around them, and the art all just look really awesome.
You know, my playgroup is, a lot of cast members from Cobra Kai, and all these new cards are totally gonna spice up our games. I'm super stoked.
All right,
Yeah.
you made it to the end of the episode. We all know what that means.
It's time for some giveaways. It's also time for me to say, good job, Jimmy, you did it. You barely pulled it out. I thought Jacob was gonna destroy all of us by like turn 6, but
You know, he's scary on Cobra Kai, and he's even more scary when he's sitting across the table from you in a game of Commander.
no back tat or mohawk needed, right?
Yeah, and he was actually playing a snake. I didn't even really think about that until just
Oh,
now.
I didn't think about that until right now.
It was either going to be bird tribal or snakes, and he was snakes, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's very thematic for him. Obviously, I'm not the only winner because we're also awarding tons of you out there with prizes so you can be winners too, as is the custom with every Game Nights episode. UltraPro is teaming up with us to give away tons of awesome swag. And there are 3 ways now to enter, so that means you can enter across all 3, increases your chances, and you're gonna get an awesome package of stuff from us around Kaldheim from UltraPro, and here's how you do it. The first way is directly on Twitter. All you have to do is just use the hashtag Game Nights. That's Nights with a K. Post a link to this episode that you're watching right now and say whatever you want. That's your entry. We'll use the hashtag to track it. If you're on Facebook, go over to our Facebook page and you can find the post that we make about this episode. And in the comment section there, just tag a friend or a family member or whoever that you think might also enjoy this content. And that's how we're gonna track those winners there. And then finally on Instagram, this one's the easiest. Just use the hashtag Game Nights and then you can post pretty much whatever you want Magic related. Make sure you also tag our official Instagram account because we just started an account there and it's a great way to keep up with all of our news.
And don't forget, you need to enter within 1 week of the release of this episode because we're going to be announcing the winners at that point, and you can no longer enter to win after we've already announced the winners.
Yep, but there are going to be tons of prizes being sent out. Card Kingdom also throws their hat in and sends stuff, and you know what? Everyone can enter. Please do. We love seeing everyone talking about the episodes. It gets us really excited because Josh and the team, boy, they put a lot of hours to make this thing happen.
Yeah, everybody works really hard, and also it gets Jimmy excited because he won this game. All right,
Yes,
everybody.
I did it. I pulled it out. It's another one of the, I call it like the Jimmy's magic tricks. He doesn't realize he can do it until it happens, and he's like, I think I win.
It was a really cool deck. Dwarf Tribal, too, like winning a game on Game Nights. Pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. Good job, Mono Red.
Good job.
You're doing it. You're stronger than ever.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.